Hello, my crafty friends. It's Mass Make Monday, and this Mass Make Monday, I am making these fun floral elements that are so super easy, take limited supplies, and just go together really quick. So, if you're interested in this beginner friendly project, then please join me today in the studio and let's get to mass making.
In a fun junk journal dream, DJ's crafting grungy scenes. Hither and yon, where friends all meet. Paper glue and vintage treats.
All right, my friends, let's get to making. I'm going to show you the supplies. You need a few hole punches, so I'll go over the basic supplies. Just a few hole punches in some different sizes, but if you only have one, that's fine. If you have none, that's fine too. You can just tear these out. I did this video way back early on my channel. It was the very first video I ever did on my channel, and I just tore them. So you can go back and watch that video as well. I got a little more involved now, so I use some different size punches. So if you have that, that's great. I also use some dies. So for these, I use some of my, these are my Sizzix Thinlits for steampunk kind of gears. And then I have some of these that look like flowers. And then I have these doilies. I got these on Temu, but I have also seen these on Amazon. They just make little doilies. I thought those would be fun. I was thinking of using these, but I didn't like that little thing in the middle, so I didn't really use them so much. I found that I have also like some little floral elements that came with other kits. And guys, I use my snowflake dies. So these dies have like a snowflake and then they have an outer piece that you can put under the snowflake. So I just took the outer pieces and I use some of those in this. But if you don't have the dies, that's fine. Just use your hole punches or tear away. It's absolutely fine. Use with what you have and start where you are. All right, just a few more things. Obviously, paper, right? So I have just some scraps of cardstock. If it's just plain cardstock, that's perfectly fine. You can just stamp on it to give it a little more drama. Book page, always a win. And then if you are like me and you have a ton of these gel prints that you're always wondering what you can do with them, you can use these as well. So grab them and make a bunch out of those. If you have magazines, that's perfect too. Coloring books, all of that works really fine. If you are going to punch out book page or coloring books or even magazines, I would double them up or even triple them up, glue them together and then punch them because sometimes your punch won't go through that thin stuff. All right, so here's what I did. I have a bunch that I hole punched, and you see these are the ones that I stamped on top of. So I punched out a bunch from just my jelly prints and stuff. And these are the ones that I did with the die cuts. One thing I'll say about the die cuts and your jelly prints is if you have a super fine die, you might want to avoid the jelly prints because they'll get stuck. The acrylic paint on top kind of gets in there. Even though these were super dry, they've been dry for a week, months, it still wanted to catch. See, some of these pieces just didn't want to come out. So I wouldn't put your fine dyes that you absolutely love on the jelly plates. You can try it by all means, but I just wanted to give you that warning. So I have a bunch of those. And then I have some smaller ones that I did in both the hole punches. I have some smaller hole punched ones, and then I have some of these that I did with the gears and the flowers. So that's what we're going to use for paper. I also have a variety of brads, and I've had these since my scrapbooking days, so they've just been around. I have some little colored floral ones here that I love, and these metal flowers. I also have my regular brads, and I have these, which I bought years ago, and I just use them for these now. So we'll see what we get to use in. I have a little distressor here. You don't have to. You can use a pair of scissors. And then I have a needle and thread. So if you don't have any brads, I actually did one of mine here. I'll show you if I can find it. Here. I just did a little stitch in the middle and did a French knot, and I didn't need a brad. I could just sew it. So you can just use a needle and thread if you don't have any brads, or some embroidery floss if you embroider. And that's it. A little glue will work too. You could just glue one to one and then put another dollop and glue, another dollop and glue. They're not as, they're not going to hold up as well, but they work. They work. So use what you have. Just play. That's the point. All right, so we have a bunch of these. Let's get to making. Stop chatting. I'm so chatty. All right, it's just really, if you get these all punched out ahead of time, then it really just becomes an assembly game, which is super fun. I actually like these two together. That's fun. And then I can go with like a brown. And do I have something smaller? Maybe this gear? How fun is that? And I have this 1/8 hole punch, and I love to use this, but you could use an awl or anything to kind of get a hole punched in there. And then I think for this one, I'm going to grab one of these. But again, use your thread or just glue them in place. And look how easy that is. Super fun and done. You do these while you're watching TV if you just have your supplies out, or YouTube, whatever you do, if you're watching my channel, which I know you all do. Thank you very much. If you're new here, by the way, go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you like this kind of content. Leave me a comment below and let me know what you'd like to see on the next Mass Make Monday. And what you're doing in your craft room and where you are in the world, because I'd love to know where you're all tuning in from. Okay, so there's one and done. And then I'll take this green one, and I think this would look pretty. Well, these pieces didn't come out. Let's grab one that's done. That's nice. I like it. I like it. And then I have this bit of blue. That doesn't really go, does it? No. Do I have any more brown? Maybe what I'll do is I'll do the brown here, like so, and then I have more options. So maybe I can go with like a red. I like it. And I have this little one. It's like a gear. Like that. And I have my awl. If you're going to use an awl, just grab something. I like to do it like this. I put it down on my paper, and then I put my awl on it, and then I just pull the paper up rather than like jam this down, and I find that works fine. And for this one, I'm going to just use a regular brass brad. Now, I think for like a steampunk page or journal or tag or card or something, if you did these all in different size gears, that would be super fun. If you want to give it some dimension, just you can kind of wrinkle it and pull it up. You can get your distresser and or your scissors and kind of distress your edges a bit. If you want it not so perfect, you can also come in with your scissors and just do some wonky cutting around the edge. It doesn't have to be perfect if you don't want that like perfect circle look. And have something like that. And then if you pull these all up in one direction, then you can kind of spin them a little. I love that they're interactive too. There you go. So we got two. I'll leave you over here for a sec. Let's do another one. Let's try this pink with this blue and a book page and big. Ooh, this one. Like that. And if you have a little piece of lace, let's get a little piece of lace because that would be fun. I don't have any scraps quite handy, so. But we always have like those teeny tiny little bits. And we're like, am I going to save this? What am I saving this for? Well, this is what you're saving it for. You're saving it for this. So you can just put this under that. This one's a little hard to see. Let's swap it out for something like this. There we go. And then we can see our little piece of lace. How fun is that? I'm just going to take my pokey tool. I'm off camera doing the same thing I did before. Whoop. Trying to pull the thing up like so. And then let's put a nice pretty green one in the center of this. I've had these for years, but I bet they have these all over Amazon or Temu or scrapbook.com or wherever it is that you shop. And there we go. And we can kind of twirl these up. You can take a pen or something and kind of, you know, and you can just cut out flower shapes in your own. You just draw them out and cut them out. You don't have to have a fancy die cut. I just had them and I thought it would be fun, and I could die cut them while I was doing one thing and then just make them all while I had the time. Okay, so let's do this. I'm going to do that. Actually, this one I'm going to put off to the side because it's not cut all the way and I keep grabbing it. Got that. And that, real simple. I'm just going to put another one of these in. See how quick they go together, and they're done. Now, if you want to dress it up a little, you can get another piece of paper and make a little leaf or two. So it's a good use of your scraps. You can draw this out if you want. Do a little leaf on that side. You can do something like that. Just glue that in place. And then we can have another one over here like that. There you go. How cute is that? And you could even write some fun word on there. All right, let's do a few more. I have this. Just regular book page. I'll take one of these. This one's pretty. We'll make a really big stacked one. I'll do this. And maybe this. And you know what? You can off center them too. That's kind of fun. And then give it a different kind of dimension. See if this will go through all of these layers. Oh yeah. Perfect. And then let's see, maybe a blue one. Nope, I don't like the blue. Let me just use a regular. Ta-da! Look how cute that is. How fast too, right? Okay, do a few more and then I'll let you get on with your lives. Oh, this one also didn't punch all the way through, but this one is punched through, so we'll use that. And then I'm going to take this. No, that doesn't really show. There we go, another book page. And then we can take one of these hole punches and do that. So you can see how, and if it gets stuck, just pull it off. If you're doing these, they just go together so quick. You'll have an entire bundle of them in no time. And they're just fun to put on a page. You just accent a page in your journal with them. You can put them down and then hang a word off of them. You can put a couple together on a page, make a little flower garden. So if you're doing like a theme in a certain color, you can make a bunch. So that's that. All right, and I wanted to show you some other little hacks. So let's move these up. Let's say you don't have a circle punch, but you have a pretty square one like this one. This one here makes this fun little design. And if you have something like that, you can definitely use it. So here are the ones I punched out with that. And I'm going to take 3 of them, but you could take more. And actually, I think I have some here on book page too. So we'll match them up like this. All you have to do is kind of go in a circle and offset them, and you will see that you will get a flower pattern. It might look better if we just use the same color. So let's use all the book page. Like so. So all of the tips are kind of off center. They're not aligned. And it looks like a little flower. So even if you don't have a circle punch, you could do something like that. What else do I have here? I have this. And then I have this. I'm just going to punch it. Put a little bread. And there you go. Isn't that cute? And I would glue these bottom ones just so that they don't get out of the circular pattern. So you could do something like that. Here's another one that I did that same way. I think I have another one here too. Yep. Here's this one. And this one I made out of a butterfly punch. So I have this butterfly punch, and I just took my butterfly. So any punch that you have, you can make work here. And you can just kind of set these off so that you get like the wing in a different direction, and then you can just kind of fill in. And look, it will take on kind of a flower petal shape. And as long as you can kind of set something in the middle there and kind of bring it all together and fill in. Let's see, what do I have? I have this. I can put this in the back. Maybe that. Look at that. Right? So you don't have to have a circle punch. You can just use whatever punch you have, and it will look like a flower. It looks like a flower. It'll actually be a little more organic looking. So pull that, and I'll put this blue one in here. How pretty is that? That would go nice in my denim and daisy kit. Or my denim papers, my floral. Let's see. There we go. Look at that. Isn't that cute? All right, guys. So that's our make for today. It's super easy. You can see how you can make so many so quick. I think we made like 5 or 6 already, and it's only been a few minutes. But I wanted to give you a little bit shorter video today. Now you can go mass make a bunch of floral elements and use up your scraps and all sorts of fun pieces to kind of make them your own. Let me know what you think of this video. And again, let me know what you want to see in an upcoming Mass Make Monday. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for Paper Play Tuesday. Have a great rest of your day or night, and I'll see you very soon.